We are here today to celebrate and honor our Constitution by reading the Constitution out loud. So your fellow community members are going to read it today. Each person will read a selected provision. With everything going on in our country, I think it'll be refreshing to hear the words of our founding document. No politics, no constitutional interpretations, just coming together to honor and celebrate this founding document that has governed us for almost 250 years. We are celebrating because I've learned you can be really mad at your government and still love your country. And I love my country and I love my Constitution. We're celebrating this document that has governed us for almost 250 years. And the document is brilliant, right? But we must acknowledge and call out that the Constitution was written by white men who owned property, most of them enslaved black men, women, and children for their skills, their labor, and their knowledge. We also have to call out the Constitution itself because there are certain provisions in the Constitution that were included to protect the institution of slavery. But for all its flaws, the Constitution itself has remained a living, breathing document subject to interpretation. Now, I teach constitutional law at KU, so I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a quick lesson on the Constitution. So the Constitution was ratified in 1789. There are 7 separate articles, a fancy word for a section, and those set forth the powers of our federal government. Our original Constitution did not include any rights. But the framers, in order to get the Constitution ratified, they promised to include individual rights. And so 2 years after the Constitution was ratified, back then politicians kept their promises. A couple of years after the Constitution was ratified, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution were ratified. Those are our Bill of Rights. And when I say amend the Constitution, we don't go back and change the text, right? We just add to it. The actual text of the Constitution has never been changed. So the Constitution has been amended 17 times since then for a total of 27 amendments. Today we're going to read selected provisions of the Constitution, not the whole thing. It's too dang hot for that, right? And those reading today are not judges or lawyers per se. They're not politicians or candidates. These are regular folks, your fellow community members who wanted to be a part of this celebration, to be a part of this moment when we honor the words and the text of the Constitution, even if it feels like our government is not. So thank you, readers, for being here today. So here's how it'll work. I'll introduce the reader. The reader will announce the section of the Constitution they'll be reading, the year the section was ratified, a few word summary, and then the text of the Constitution. The lovely Natalie Weiss is going to get us started with the preamble to the Constitution.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
We will begin our reading of the Constitution. Boog Heiberger is going to get us started.
Article 1 of the United States Constitution. Powers of the Legislative Branch. Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. Section 2. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof, for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. In 1913, Section 3 of Article 1 was amended to provide that senators be elected instead of chosen by state legislatures. The 17th Amendment to the Constitution reads, "The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, elected by the people thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote."
Bruce Roberts.
Article 2 of the United States Constitution, powers of the executive branch. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years. Before he enters on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Lou Mulligan.
Article 3 of the United States Constitution, powers of the judicial branch. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such inferior courts as Congress may, from time to time, ordain and establish. The judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior.
Dustin Stumbling Bear.
Article 6 of the United States Constitution. The Constitution is supreme, and this Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby.
Reverend Dr. Nori Rost.
The First Amendment, ratified in 1791, discussing separation of church and state, free religion, free speech, free press, and the right to assemble. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances.
Greg Funk.
Second Amendment, ratified in 1791, regards firearms. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Gina Spade.
The Fourth Amendment, ratified in 1791, searches, seizures, and warrants. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Adina Morse.
The Fifth Amendment, ratified in 1791. Double jeopardy, self-incrimination, and due process. I'm going to repeat that. And due process. Woo! No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against herself, himself is the text, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation.
Dan Liu.
The Sixth Amendment, ratified also in 1791. Our rights at a criminal trial. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense.
Maritza Welton.
The Seventh Amendment, ratified in 1791. Our right to a jury trial in civil cases. In suits at common law, where the value and controversy shall exceed $20, the right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury in any court of the United States shall be otherwise re-examined than according to the rules of the common law.
Siobhan Kirsten.
The Eighth Amendment, ratified in 1791, no cruel and unusual punishment. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted.
TJ Everett.
The Ninth Amendment, also ratified in 1791, we the people retain rights not specifically set forth in the Constitution. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Steve Stemmerman.
The 10th Amendment, ratified 1791. Powers not given to the federal government go to the states. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
Ty Edwards.
The 12th Amendment, ratified in 1804, established the Electoral College. The electorals shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president. We're looking at you, Aaron Burr. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president and vice president, and of the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be the president.
Mahmoud Ogalar.
Next, we have the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in 1865. This was the amendment that abolished slavery, and it reads as such. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction.
Wayne Ricks.
The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, birthright citizenship, equal protection, due process, and insurrectionists. Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person or of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the law. Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president who, having previously taken an oath to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof.
Ursula Minor.
The 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870. Black men get the right to vote. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude.
Dot Neri.
The 16th Amendment, ratified in 1913, not the most popular one, but necessary, established the federal income tax. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived, without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any consensus or enumeration.
Jordan Carter.
The 18th Amendment was ratified in 1919. Prohibition. After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within, the importation thereof into, or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territory subject to the jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes is hereby prohibited. In 1933, the 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment, thereby ending prohibition. Woohoo! The 21st Amendment reads, "The 18th Article of Amendment to the Constitution of the United States is hereby repealed."
Becky Plate.
The 19th Amendment, ratified in 1920, women get the right to vote. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex.
Georgia Blackwood.
Bojo Minokishket Osta Sanalei. The 20th Amendment, ratified in 1933, changing the date the president takes office from March to January. The terms of the president and the vice president shall end at noon on the 20th of January.
Harris Ashbaugh.
The 22nd Amendment, ratified in 1951, set a term limit for president. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice.
Joshua Eason.
The 24th Amendment, ratified in 1964, eliminated poll taxes. The right of citizens of the United States of America to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay any poll tax or other tax.
And rounding us off is Katie Spade.
The 26th Amendment, ratified in 1971, right to vote extended to 18-year-olds. The right of citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of age.
Wow, that was cool. I hope you found it as cool as I just did. I actually have goosebumps. So that concludes the reading of the Constitution. This